Hey guys, wanted to do a quick video about a topic that is kind of funny when you think about it, and technically not so funny when you look at the impact that it's having. And the impact that it's having is on manhood. Not so good. So you see the title, What Happens When the Feminazis Attempt to Overtake Men? What happens? So we can go back. Let's go back in time and let's listen to the conversations that we heard. First, they said, women can do anything a man can do, but better. We're better than you. And then they told men, well, why don't you be more feminine? Now they say masculinity is toxic. What happened? How do we go from we can do anything a man can do, which meant they wanted to be masculine, as they simultaneously said, hey guys, why don't you be more feminine? So they wanted to be more masculine, which is, I guess, a compliment, right? They were attempting to copy us to be more masculine. But then they told men, well, be less of who you are and be more feminine. And so does that mean they failed at being masculine? So now they're saying, well, it's toxic. Is that like the conversation of a sore loser? So is this really just what happens when women want to compete as men? And they learned that they couldn't do it. They failed at being men. So since they failed, they just said, well, masculinity is just toxic, damn it. We failed. They don't have the biochemistry we have. They don't have the brain function. You guys have seen me put up articles where it showed women have more activity in their brains, and women think, oh, well, we're more intelligent. No, you worry more. You have more anxiety. Women are 3.5 times more likely to attempt suicide. Why? Because they have so much anxiety and depression. Suicide is a way to ask for help because their brains make problems where there's no problem. And now, instead of saying they failed at being like men because they don't have the biochemistry or the brain function, now they want to turn men into women. And then they might have a fighting chance to beat men at a women's game. Since women couldn't beat men at a men's game, they want to now beat men at a women's game. But just remember, Bruce Jenner won Woman of the Year. So what does that mean? Men can even be better at being a woman than women are. That's it. This is kind of funny. So, question now is, why are men allowing women to set the bar and standards for what it means to be a man? Like we hear women saying, well, a real man should do this. Why is that even being acknowledged? I don't care if it's your mother. Honestly, think about this. Imagine a woman setting standards for being an eagle. Eagles can fly higher than any other bird. They're powerful. Their wingspan, their ability to fly higher where the air is thinner. Those claws are powerful. They can hunt from high above. So imagine a woman setting standards for an eagle. She might say, hey, flying that high is pretty dangerous. You shouldn't do that. Why? Because she can't do it. Hell, she might even have the eagle walking around hunting for food instead of doing what he does best. Fly high, come down, swoop down, and snatch a poisonous snake right out the grass or fish right out the water. She'll have that sucker walking around, pecking at worms. And the most she will do to an eagle is impose her limits on the eagle. on the eagle. And she wouldn't even see it as limits. For her, that's just her reality. That's her body functions without wings. She's only going to see what she's going to see the world from what her biochemistry, her biology, and her brain allows her to see. And so all of her suggestions for an eagle would be basically she would only suggest or really project her perspective on the eagle, which would all be her own limiting beliefs. And she has no idea how the eagle thinks, because the eagle has capacities that the woman doesn't. So, since women do not have the same brain and biochemistry as men, they have no place telling men how to be men, because they have, just like they have no idea what it's like to be an eagle, they have no idea what it's like to be a man. Except remember, back in the 60s, they thought it would be easy to do everything a man can do. Well, they failed. And instead of saying, we failed, they're attempting to condemn men for being men. Isn't that crazy? Imagine sports playing like that. You lose, and then you try to get the other team to be less powerful than they are. Imagine being in a ring with Mike Tyson and saying, you can't hit me that hard, man. You hit too hard. I'm going to be knocked out. That body shot. Stay out of the ring with Mike Tyson. If women failed being at men, stay out of men's spaces. Let men have those spaces. Leave the Boy Scouts to the boys. Hell, they don't want the boys and the Girl Scouts. They kept that girls. They want their own spaces, but they want to be in a man's space. Guys, don't fall for that. Don't allow your sons, your nephews, your grandsons, or your brothers to get sucked into this penis envy rant. Yes, women have tried to be men for decades. They're getting sick. They're getting, what do you call those? It's messing up their whole sex organs and their brains. They end up with mental disorders like hybristophilia. They can't even enjoy sex unless it's with some guy who's a criminal or a married man, a liar, a cheater, a thief, a rapist, a murderer. They're getting hysterectomies. They're throwing themselves off so much because they're trying to be something they were never born to be. And when they can't do it as well as us, well, they're trying to get us to lower the bar. Guys, never, ever, 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 ever let a woman tell you what it means to be a man. Ever. Not even your mother, your grandmother, your big sister, your wife. I don't care who she is. I'm not condemning women. I love women for being women, and I want them for where they are and the place they hold on this planet. They don't hold the place of a man as much as they think they can. They just don't. And they're paying a price for it, and they now want us to pay the price with them. Let them suffer in their own silence, since they won't say they failed at being a man. They won't have a penis. So guys, if you like this video, if you like this content, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share it with your buddies. Hell, share it with your wife. Like this, comment, love to hear your thoughts about it. What have you told women in this light? How have you checked women, including your mama? So like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be back with more material. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.